I'm very fortunate to be sitting down with Maxine O'Brien, who is the manager of the Lightning Ridge Miners Association. Welcome, Maxine.
Thank you, John.
Maxine is a good friend and also the namesake of my Spectrum Award-winning ring, the Maxine. And what I was going to ask Maxine is a few questions about the Lightning Ridge Miners Association for our customers back in the United States. And I guess starting, Maxine, the first question would be, what function does the Lightning Ridge Miners Association do?
Okay, John. Well, the Lightning Ridge Miners Association represents the opal miners of Lightning Ridge. So we look at everything to do with the mining process. So we would negotiate with government on the rules and regulations under which we mine. We negotiate with like landholders for access. Anything to do with the mining process, we deal with a variety of people to protect the miners' rights.
Yes. And you lived in Lightning Ridge a long time. You come from a family of miners, don't you? Tell us a little something about yourself.
Okay, I come from a little bit west of here, and we are already, as you know, 800 kilometres from the seaboard. Yes. So we're in the northwest of New South Wales. My family is a farming family from slightly west of here, near a place called Buduga. But my father has been mining probably for 40 or 50 years. So when I was growing up, he was also mining as well as farming.
So you grew up in the mines and you have it in your blood?
Well, yeah, sort of, yeah, up and down the ladders. Well, you know, I was a bit too light on to physically carry the jackhammer, so I used to get sent up the top around about lunchtime to, you know, put the fire on to cook lunch.
What thing amazes me about Lightning Ridge is the miners are all entrepreneurs. They're small operations. Could you tell us an example of like a typical miner and what size his claim would be? And it's an extremely arduous task of getting opal. Could you describe some of that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Opal is quite a unique gemstone because you cannot predict the resource. So you might dig a lot of dirt, unlike gold or something like that, where you can say, per so many tonne of dirt, I will get X, you know, grams of gold or ounces of gold. With opal, you cannot do that. So it has become the domain of small miners. So most mining partnerships are 1 or 2 people. They mine on a title 50 metres by 50 metres, which, you know, in the old days was 100 feet by 100 feet, something like that. And each miner is allowed to have 2 mines in their name. So they put a lot of work and effort into it. They can also, prior to going mining, may have a prospecting block. Okay, so we also have a system where the areas where we mine are divided into what we call blocks, opal prospecting blocks. So a miner would go out there and explore with like a 9-inch auger drill. So they'll just put down a little hole so they can check the levels, see if the geological conditions there where opal may occur is present, and they may even drill up a little bit of opal. If they think it's suitable enough, then they will register their 50 by 50 metre mineral claims, and off they go. So everyone's self-employed. Very few, most of them don't have workers, so to speak, they just work for themselves. So it's developed quite a unique culture because the industry really is made up of self-employed people, and right through the supply chain really, because most of the wholesalers are also small business people. So for example, you could possibly have a family where the man and the father and the sons would go off and mine the opal. The wife may then cut and polish the opal. Then another member of the family may well be a jeweler or a retailer. There's it's a lovely industry to be in because it's quite family orientated. It's
a generational business for a generational gemstone.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing that's on everyone's mind currently is the environment. Mm-hmm. And what I've been so impressed in visiting Lightning Ridge over the years is you see the sensitivity toward the environment. Can you tell us a little bit on the process of the land being returned to its original state after mining operations cease?
Yeah. Okay. Once every miner has to pay a security deposit to the government, which guarantees their rehabilitation. So, and obviously over the years, the rehabilitation standards, keep improving. So then they have criteria that they must rehabilitate their mining title to, and once that's completed, then their security bond is refunded. So there's quite a few incentives in there. However, the miners themselves, through the Miners Association, decided probably some 10 years ago that we needed to do more than that. So now every miner, when they register or renew a mining title, they pay a levy, an additional levy for the environment. So that enables the Lightning Ridge Miners Association as the industry body to go back into areas where mining may have diminished. And we look at it then, rather than on a title scale, we look at it on a whole opal field scale. So then we will go back in and do even more rehabilitation work, and that actually takes into account more of the off-title impacts, because you obviously have people driving to and from their title. Also, particularly in a lot of older areas that may be 20 or 30 years older, the rehabilitation standard 30 years ago is not what it is today. So this gives us an opportunity to bring it up to current day standards and community expectations.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I've been in certain areas where mining has ceased for 20 years, and you would never know that there was mining there today. So it's, as far as from sensitivity to the environment, it's wonderful.
We are a mining industry, albeit a very, on a small scale, but the result is it is a high quality gemstone. But there is no activity you can do without some sort of impact. So naturally there is some impact. Most of it is visual, and most of it's also when a mining operation is actually occurring, rather than when it's finished, it's cleaned up. And about the only thing really left on the environment are heaps of what we call opal claystone, which happens to be white. And you need to have those heaps to ensure that if there is some subsidence in the shafts, because it's mainly underground mining here in Lightning Ridge, you have enough dirt there to allow for settling. And that happens to be white, and the surrounding dirt is red. And really that is the main impact. But as I say, there is no activity on Earth you can do without impacting. And
that's a safety concern for people who are out walking, that we don't want them to have an accident.
And absolutely, and actually works quite well also, because if once it's returned to grazing, and luckily for us, we don't mine on agricultural land, we don't mine on any cropping land. The opal occurs on the red ridges, it was quite marginal for agricultural purposes. But still, if we have a good season and there happens to be grass, and as you know, you've been here in good seasons when it's grass up to here, and dry seasons when it's just dirt. So, it's nice to be able to see where those open shafts were, particularly if you're on a motorbike and mustering stock.
Yes, yes. Well, a question on everyone's mind about opal, and of course I'm very high on the prospects for Lightning Ridge opal in the future. What's your opinion, because you have your thumb on the source, what's your opinion of long-term mining in Lightning Ridge in the future?
Well, it's been here for 100 years, and I can safely expect it to be here for another 100 years. We have opal mining, I guess, for the people who wear opal around their necks or on their fingers, is a passion, and the miners are passionate about opal mining. So there's a lot of exploration activity happening at the moment. We have actually a mining reserve in this area, which is set aside just for small-scale mining for opal. We haven't even explored half of that reserve yet. So there's still a lot of country out there to be explored. Obviously, like any mining industry, there are ups and downs. So when the opal prices that the miners are receiving on the field are good enough to cover their cost of production, and which it is at the present, you'll see an increase in activity. And we're seeing that right now. So there is so much country out there. I know I'm not a miner, but I'm sure the miners go out. Every time I've been out somewhere on the fields with a miner, they go, "Ooh, look at that spot. Ooh, that's got a nice little rollover. Ooh," again. So there's plenty of areas that hasn't even been looked at yet.
Now, and we talk about field prices. I see demand in the world rising for black opal. It is the finest opal, the Lightning Ridge material. So long term, I see a steady increase in field prices as more and more people are exposed to the beauty of the stone, which has to speak volumes for the miners, as there are probably, in the last 2 years, double the amount of people mining?
Yeah, probably. There would be. And a lot of miners that have sort of exited the industry for a little while have now come back into the industry. And as you say, it is the most well, I'm a little biased, most spectacular gemstone on earth. And as more people become aware of its rarity and its beauty, and it is very rare, a miner may find, a pocket of opal, but, a top gemstone in that is not necessarily going to be there, So the black opal and the beautiful black opal is rare. So the more the miner can receive for his product on the field, most of them are so passionate they put it straight back into the industry. So they will put it back into exploration, back into mining, so that circle continues.
In long term, do you see the price of black opal increasing?
I think so, absolutely. We had probably 10 years ago, the prices that the miners was receiving on the field are substantially higher than they are at the moment. And I think we can expect to see it back there because, the product speaks for itself.
Yes, it's just gorgeous. I'd like to give you an opportunity just to say whatever you'd like to. The people that will see this video are my customers in jewelry stores around the United States or on my website. Just tell us a little bit of something that you'd like to say to people about the gemstone that may not be familiar with it, to expose them just a little bit.
I'm very happy to do that, John, because as you know, I'm quite passionate about it as well. Black opal is, I think, the most superior and most beautiful gemstone in the world. Every piece is unique, and it's great. People like you, jewelers like you, who are doing one-off pieces, you will never get another piece like it. Every opal is different. So, and I know people say to me, but how do you choose, which one would like? Honestly, I will tell you, it will talk to you. You will see something and you'll look into a stone and you could stare at that stone for years, to be frank. You'll see something in it every time. The patterns and the colours move, they just pop out at you. And honestly, you will see a piece and you go, I love that piece. It will talk to you.
Opal is unique, and I want to thank you. You're one of the most unique persons I've ever met, and we appreciate all the work you do.
Thank you, John. Pleasure.
Thank you.